Welcome back. It is Wednesday, April 26th in the MLB, and my three favorite picks are on the way. I'm Logan from Calling Our Shot. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know by now, but it is just me holding down the fort while Austin's on his honeymoon. Let's talk about yesterday, unfortunately, because yesterday we went 1-2, and you know what? As disappointing as it is, we were kind of due a losing day. We've been on a really red hot, profit run recently, but you know what? Baseball marathon, not a sprint. So we take these sort of days on the chin. We had our big win of the day. We had the Astros on the money line. That was great value bet. Probably got it around plus 150, 160, which made up for the Phillies pitcher switch situation, which just made me pull out my hair, right? Marco Gonzalez ended up starting for Logan Gilbert. I did the whole write-up and analysis for Logan Gilbert just to have that pitcher switched on us. Very annoying bet with that one. And then our Nerfy doesn't come through. Ryan Nelson hosts the first inning batting practice, but Brady Singer got his job done. Oh, well, 1-2 day is not catastrophic in baseball. We were due a little bit of a setback, but is that going to stop us from making some profit today? No, absolutely not. We have revenge on our mind today with our first pick. You know what? We're going to the scene of the crime from yesterday. We're going to the Phillies game, and I'm taking the Phillies on the money line. Minus 102 odds on FanDuel is currently your best value in this one. Now, guys, look. I'm going to have a lot of hate on this one for sure, right? When you lose a pick, it's so easy to just go away from it and never touch it again. But you know what? We lost the pick with different analysis, right? I wasn't targeting Marco Gonzalez. I was targeting Logan Gilbert, and he's the one scheduled to start today. I mean, if they pull Logan Gilbert again, I'm going to, find the Seattle manager and, beat him up. I don't know. But you know what? I wanted to make this the true 1.5 unit play from yesterday, but I'll hold back and play responsibly. I'm not going to try to chase our 1.5 unit loss from yesterday, but this is the matchup I wanted, right? We saw the Phillies, sort of struggle a little bit versus Marco Gonzalez. They're worse versus lefties. Against righties, you know what? They're better. But who's starting today for the Phillies? I don't really care who's starting, right? Believe it or not, Taijuan Walker, 3.8 ERA, 1.31 whip on the season. That's okay, right? He's good enough to hold it down. And what have I always said about the Seattle offense, right? They're not consistently good. They're not a consistently good offense, and they're not consistent versus righties, right? 20th in batting average, 19th in OPS versus righties. I said it, yesterday in part of my analysis. The Seattle offense is very capable of having a 2 or 3 run offensive output and not give Logan Gilbert a whole lot of runs to work with. I've seen it before so many times, and Taijuan Walker should be a good enough pitcher to get it done, right? I'm not super concerned about him because I actually expect the Phillies to give him some run support to work with against Logan Gilbert today, right? Logan Gilbert should start for the Seattle today. I say should, God bless them if they pull him again. But normally, Gilbert is a pitcher, I've backed this year. But I think the Phillies are capable of hitting him, right? Philadelphia hitting 280 versus righties. That's first in the MLB and fourth in OPS versus right-handed pitchers. We know Gilbert is susceptible to the long ball, right? He allowed 2 home runs, in his previous start. I mentioned this yesterday about the hard hit percentage, right? Bohm, Schwarber, Stott, all above 66% hard hit percentage. It's something that I've seen Logan Gilbert, when he gives up his hits, they're usually extra base hits because they come just scorching off the bat. I expect these Phillies hitters to actually be able to get to him in a way that they couldn't get to Marco Gonzalez yesterday, right? And then when we talk about the bullpen discrepancy, right? Seattle 6th in bullpen ERA. The Phillies bullpen is pretty nasty, right? 26 in bullpen ERA. If you don't want to back the Phillies and you don't want to back their bullpen, I'm not calling you crazy in this one, but I'm taking a stab at it because I believe my initial analysis of the Phillies being able to hit Logan Gilbert will be correct. The Phillies bullpen wasn't catastrophic yesterday. They just didn't give them enough run support. I still believe they're capable of getting the lead on Logan Gilbert in this one and getting it done for us. That's why I got revenge on my mind. I'm going to take another shot on the Phillies. Look, if you want to call me crazy, just don't tail the bet, right? I'm not forcing you to tail the bet. But in the next play, if you don't like that play, you're going to absolutely hate this next play. We're going to the Padres versus Cubs. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Padres on the money line in this one. Minus 104 odds on FanDuel is currently your best value in this one. Now, look, guys, I mean, in baseball, you don't always get to pick what you like, because when you pick what you like and you just absolutely love the bet, you want to put 10 units on it, those are the ones that are the sucker bets, right? This is a line read bet. And if you don't want to make a line read bet, fine, don't follow it. But no one wants to back Michael Wacha and the Padres right now. I watched the end of that game and I was like, oh gosh, this is so nasty, right? And then I went to check the line today and I'm like, what? Like, why are we once again, thinking the Padres is going to have a chance, right? The fact that this line is close to a pick 'em should tell you the books actually expect the Padres to wake up today, right? My favorite thing to do in baseball when doing some line reading is see a pitcher with a huge ERA discrepancy and see if the line matches that, right? Well, the pitchers today have a 7 ERA and a 3 ERA, yet the line is pretty close to a pick 'em, right? The Padres are even favored on some books right now while I'm recording this video. Of course, it can switch throughout the day, as it goes on, because I expect that to happen. But that usually tells me where the trap lines are, right? Drew Smyly gets the start for the Cubs, and he's been solid on the year, right? 3.13 ERA and a .91 whip. San Diego hasn't been great versus lefties. They haven't been, a consistent offense at all much of the year, but 21st in batting average, 19th in OPS versus lefties. Their offense truly can't get any worse than yesterday, right? They put up the goose egg on the scoreboard, the little donut up there chilling, on the scoreboard. You hate to see that. But you know what? I just think this line is indicative of a bounce back performance against them because Drew Smyly has given up some homers, right? He's given up a homer in 2 out of his 4 starts. And these San Diego hitters have actually seen him before in their careers, right? Cruz, Bogarts, and Soto all have a career home run against Drew Smyly. I'm just saying I've seen Drew Smyly, miss locations before. And in Wrigley Field, it depends on the conditions, but those can easily be home run balls. And I think the San Diego Padres offense is just like simply by law of averages do a better performance than they were yesterday. And Smyly has been inconsistent with his strikeouts too. He's had a game with 10 strikeouts, 3 strikeouts, 7 strikeouts, and then 3 strikeouts. So you tell me what's the weakness of the San Diego offense? And it's strikeouts, right? Because there's a lot of undisciplined plate hitters for San Diego. And I think with Drew Smyly being that inconsistent, missing bats, I see an opportunity there for them to get some hits and runs up on Smyly for sure. I expect them to be able to do that today. Now, who's starting for the Padres? It's Michael Wacha, right? 7.08 ERA and a 1.72 whip. Those numbers are not great at all, right? I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Wacha has been bad in 3 of 4 starts. The line indicates, though, that we could see a duplicate performance of his one good start versus the Braves, right? He faced this Braves offense, and he absolutely pitched a gem. 6 innings pitched, only 2 hits allowed, 0 earned runs, and 10 strikeouts. Yeah, that was vintage Michael Wacha, right? These pitchers, and I tell you this all the time, are capable of putting up good starts, right? Believe it or not, these are professional athletes. Just because they have a 7 or 8 ERA doesn't mean that they're just going to go out and host batting practice, right? It could blow up in my face. Michael Wacha could go out and host batting practice, but you got to trust the line. And at the end of the day, these two bullpens, not that far apart. San Diego 23rd in bullpen ERA, the Cubs 21st in bullpen ERA. If you told me the Cubs bullpen imploded for them, today, I believe you because I've seen it before, right? At the end of the day, I'm trusting the line in this one. If betting baseball based off the line pretty primarily, scares you, then don't tail this bet, guys. But that's just how I bet baseball. It's how I've been profitable year in and year out. It's what we're going to do again in this one. It sometimes makes you feel uncomfortable. Doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies that all bets do. But it's just my philosophy when I bet. Bet on the line, not always the numbers. The numbers do help reinforce your point, but it's mainly the line. But you guys know what time it is. Suffered a tough loss, Nerfy Nation, yesterday. But that's just me. We're setting up a good bounce back. We've yet to really find our stride in no-run first innings. It's been tough this year, but that doesn't mean we fly the flags and, we're going to push on. We're resilient. This is what Nerfy Nation does. We're going to find our stride today, and we're going to a no-run first inning that I actually really do like. We're going to the Marlins versus Braves, and we're taking the no-run first inning in this one. -109 odds on Barstool's currently your best value in this one. Now, I do like the pitching matchup in this one. We've got Sandy Alcantara versus Bryce Elder. Elder's going to start for the Braves. He's going to take care of the first half of the inning for us. He's 2-2 on no-run first innings this year. Okay, small sample size, a couple yes-run first innings. But the Marlins are really who I'm targeting, right? Marlins 28th in first inning runs. It's the back of the pack offense. So look, I'll take my chances with this offense ruining me in the first inning, right? Like it's just that's how these bets work. Like you have to be okay if a bad offense ends up scoring the run. And I think Bryce Elder is certainly capable of getting us those first 3 outs. Now on the last 3 outs, the most important, Sandy Alcantara is starting for the Marlins. And Alcantara is like probably the best Nerfy pitcher, at least of the last 2 seasons that we've been betting them, right? He's 4-0 on Nerfies this season. He's a pitcher I can trust. And that's good because the Braves are a good first inning run scoring team, right? They're second in first inning runs scored. So I definitely think it's going to be good on good in this one. And I think Sandy Alcantara is definitely capable of getting us those last 3 outs that we need. The over-under set to 8, right in the range that we do like to pick these games. Nerfy Nation, you know what? It's been an up and down year so far, but I definitely think this one stands a really good chance of cashing. And hopefully we can fly those flags. We got revenge on our mind today. That's the narrative. And I definitely feel a big day inbound for us. But that'll do it for our picks today. Again, quick recap. We had the Phillies on the money line, the Padres on the money line, and the no-run first inning in the Braves versus Marlins game. Thank you guys so much. Let's have a bounce-back winning day. Slight setback from yesterday, but that just means we're going to make some money today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.